How's it going, everyone? We're gonna do some diving today. I'm out on my friend David's boat. You want to say hi?
Hey, what's up?
He has a YouTube channel too, and I'll link it down below.
Living big, guys.
Living big. So yeah, we're gonna go out and do some diving today. Super nice conditions. Water looks super clear. There was supposed to be swell today, but it looks like it's flat. So I think we're gonna score. Alright guys, so this was the first spot that we went to. I was down on the bottom here and kind of just seeing what was going on. This was like one of the first dives I took down, not super deep water. And out of the left I see this kind of big lie starting to swim over. And I don't usually shoot lie, but this was just, a pretty good size one. And I thought, why not? I haven't shot one of these in years. So I go ahead and take a shot. It kind of freaks out. Pretty stoked though. It was a pretty good size one, and it's probably going to be really good tasting tonight. So we went ahead and moved spots after this to this second spot, which was kind of a deeper water drop off. And my friend David, who I was diving with, said that they'd seen like big ukus out here and stuff in the past. So I was really excited to hopefully score and get one of those. My parents were having a dinner party. You can see that big Alua out there. He doesn't come in, but it was still kind of fun to see it. So I take another dive down in a similar spot, and I'm looking around. I'm kind of doing some grunts. I'm scratching the rocks to see if anything comes in. And again, out of the left, this nice little milu, or papillo, comes in. I'm guessing he was probably around 4 or 5 pounds. So I go ahead and wait. He comes in, I take a shot, an absolute nightmare. I had him, but I think my shooting line got wrapped up in my bands, and anyway, he came off. So I'm down here looking at this moose school, and you can see my hand right there scratching the rocks. This is one of my favorite tactics for getting moo. Either to grab a small rock and scratch it against it, or just scratch the rocks with your fingers. It usually brings them in. Unfortunately today, these guys, even though they were not giants, they're only 2 to 3 pounds, they were just so smart. And unfortunately, I didn't end up spearing one of them on this dive or even taking a shot, but it was still kind of cool to see that school down there. So I moved in a little bit shallower, and you can see how much life there is just on this shallow reef on the inside. It was really beautiful. I see this nice school of Joe Lewis's, and you can see that bigger black one in the back. I go ahead and take a shot. It's a little bit of a far shot, but I get him, and I think that was pretty much due to how sharp my spear was. I always like to keep my spear really sharp just for those longer shots. But yeah, I gave this to David's friend, and he was really stoked to get it. So here I am. It was getting towards the end of the dive, and I really just needed to bring some fish home. My parents were throwing like a dinner party, and I see this big uhu, and I think, all right, I'm going to shoot this uhu. I'm going to commit to it. And then I see these Moana collies come in, and this is something that happens to me so often, is I'll see other fish come in, and I'll get like sidetracked, and then it turns out that these Moana collies weren't huge. I usually like to wait till they get a little bigger to spear them, so they end up getting away, and the uhu got away as well, so I didn't get any fish on that dive. This next dive though, this big pair of uhus come in, and I take an aim on the bigger one and go ahead and shoot it. Not a great shot, kind of in the middle of the body, but that's like the trick with uhus. Like, you got to be really careful where you shoot them, because they tend to rip off no matter where you shoot them. So I'll usually aim for the head or somewhere along the spine. And I'm down here on the bottom again. You can see there's some table boss. This is right on the drop off, and I see this nice little papillo come in. He's too small to shoot, but I always just love seeing these guys. They're so pretty. They're always lit up and love to investigate you and stuff. There's a lot of opelucalas around too, and David mentioned how good eating they were, and it's been years since I had opelucalas, so I go ahead and take a shot on a bigger one right there. He kind of freaks out, but I managed to get him up to the surface, and it's a pretty good size one. I mean, not a giant or anything, but legal size. So here I'm on the bottom again, and I just needed one more fish kind of for dinner. This nice uhu came in, so I went ahead and just took a shot. Unfortunately, it was a gut shot, but I still managed to get it. And that's the thing with uhus, is if you shoot them and they stay on your shooting line, if you drop your gun, they'll like almost 100% of the time going hole up somewhere nearby. So just kind of follow your shooting line, check the holes, and you can usually just retrieve them out of the holes. I am back at home now. It was a pretty interesting day out in the water. My parents are having kind of like a dinner party tonight, as I stated before. So obviously I wanted to try to go for like more moo and like Moana Kali and stuff, but it just really wasn't happening today. So I ended up having to settle on some uhu and lai and a pretty good size Opelukala. It is legal. It's close, but it is legal. The legal size for Opelukala is 16 inches. It's like right on 16. So first up is this lai, and I don't usually spear lai, but like this one was just like an absolute dozer. It's one of the bigger lais I've ever seen. Even when you're out in blue water, I feel like I don't see them this big usually, so I was pretty stoked to get it. Here's that Opelukala I was talking about. I don't usually spear these, but thought why not try it tonight. We're gonna make some like little fish sandwiches with these guys, and it should taste really good. I thought, you know, these guys have pretty firm white meat in them, so they're probably gonna be really good in the sandwiches. And then I speared an uhu and another uhu. So here I am just cleaning all the fish. I went ahead and just filleted all 4 of these guys, just cut off the slabs of meat, pulled off the skin, and took out the pin bones. Alright guys, so I cleaned all the fish. This is the 2 uhus, the Opelukala, and the lai. So I made a pretty nice little mountain of fish. So like I said, we're going to be making fish sandwiches out of this. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take them and cut them up into little pieces that'll fit into the bread. There's a nice piece. Perfect, just like that. This is kind of like what I'm going for, chunks like that. There's a nice chunk. Alright, so there it is all cut up. I'm just going to kind of blot it and get any extra water out of it. And then we're going to make the batter and fry it up. Alright guys, so I'm already to start cooking the fish. So I have my egg wash here, which is just, I just put some egg in there, some milk, and some spices. And then I just have some panko here, some just breadcrumbs to dip the fish in. So it's going to go fish into the egg wash, into the breadcrumbs, and then into the oil. So, first thing I'm going to do is pour some oil into this pan. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and light the burner. Burner is lit and the oil is heating up. So, I'm going to go ahead and start getting my fish ready. So here's a nice piece of fish right here. It looks like uhu. I'm just going to go ahead and dry it off. So I'm going to go ahead and put the fish in the egg. Alright, so we got the egg. And now just roll it around in the panko. When you put the fish in and it sizzles a little bit, that means the oil's ready. Oil is not quite sizzling, so I'm going to go ahead and make a couple more pieces by the time the oil heats up. Okay guys, so I just put those in the oil. I forgot something really important, which is cornstarch. So basically, the correct way to do this, and the way that I should have said before, was you dry your fish off like this. Then we're going to put it into the cornstarch and get a nice coating, then into the egg wash, and that'll give it kind of more like a batter texture into the panko. Alright guys, it's been a few minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and turn these pieces over. As soon as that panko starts looking golden brown, you want to go ahead and just flip them over. Alright guys, so it's the next day. Last night got kind of hectic. I didn't show finishing making the sandwiches on camera, but we're going to do that right now. I'll kind of recreate it for you guys and show you guys what I put on it. So here's the fish that we fried up. Super good. I think this is a piece of the uhu right here. I have some grilled onions. I'll show you guys how to make them right now. Alright guys, so we got a little bit of olive oil, some onions, just cut in rings. a little bit of brown sugar, and some soy sauce. And we're just going to saute this all together until the onions start to caramelize and turn brown. Awesome. And I have some cabbage, and then right here I have some garlic aioli. That's like a really fancy name for it. What it is it's just sriracha mayonnaise, a little bit of garlic, and yogurt all together. So we're gonna kind of combine this all together right now. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of this garlic aioli. So there it is, guys. There's the garlic aioli on there. And now I'm going to go ahead and throw some of these onions on. These onions are a game changer. And I'm gonna put some of this cabbage on. This is just purple cabbage, just cut up into slices, nothing fancy as far as the cabbage is concerned. It could be cut up a little bit thinner, but this will work fine. And put the top on, and there you go. Pretty simple to assemble. Did some work to make it, but definitely worth it. I already had this last night, so I know it's good, but I'll try some again just for you guys. Alright guys, it is so good. The sriracha mayonnaise kind of gives it a little bit of spice. Those grilled onions are just the move in it. I tried all three of the fish yesterday, the lai, the uhu, and the opalukala after I was done frying it. And they were all really good. I think my favorite fried though like this is probably uhu. It just kind of reminds me of like cod, like you'd have like with fish and chips. Just really good flaky white meat. The lai had a really interesting, more firm texture, and the opalukala had kind of an interesting flavor, a little bit different than the other two. I like opalukala. I think it might be better barbecued though, so I'll have to try that in a future episode. This sandwich is super good, by far my favorite thing I made on this channel so far. You guys got to give it a try. Guys, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up down below. I'll leave a link to David's channel down below as well. I'm hungry. I'm gonna get eating. Shoots.